Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am showing you what I made in the first week of the Pantry Challenge. This is the Three Rivers Challenge with Jessica from the Three Rivers Homestead. So thankful that she is hosting this. I've got her channel linked below so you can check her out. Check out the hashtag Three Rivers Challenge and you'll see other people that are doing this challenge for the month of January, and some do it for the month of February also. I kind of started a little late, so I'm doing the second half of January and the first half of February, and we'll see how it goes from there. I am allowing myself a small grocery budget. I don't have a huge homestead. I just have a little backyard chicken situation and a little backyard garden, which there's really nothing in that right now. So that's what I have going on. I had a little bit of canned food, home canned food, but that's gone just about. So I'm gonna show you, I've shown you in my last video what all is in my freezers and refrigerator and pantry and things that need to be used up. So I'm gonna show you how I used some of that for this week and hopefully give you some inspiration. So thanks for joining me. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. My name is Peggy. I am a homeschooling, homemaking mom of 7 children. We are Reformed Baptists, we're Christians. We love the Lord, we love our family, we love the simple life and are centered on Christ and centered on our home. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. All right, this is what we've got for supper tonight. Some wild caught salmon, canned salmon, to make salmon patties. And then we have some quinoa that we're gonna have on the side with this. And we have tons of carrots, so roasted carrots it is. So I've just cut up my carrots, and the fat for this is gonna be some bacon grease that I had left over. So I'm gonna get that on the carrots. Right, so I'm gonna add some salt. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this maple syrup here over it. Just a little to bring out the sweetness of the carrots, not like a crazy amount. And I'm trying to use up what's in here also. So I probably won't use all of it that's in here because I just want a little, but like that. Maybe I will use all of it. Cool. So that uses up that. I am gonna sit that upside down to get any extra out that I can. I'm gonna mix this together and pop this in the oven to roast. Here's what's going into the salmon patties. I have 6 cans of salmon here, and I have a toddler who wants to help. Some crackers, I use this for breadcrumbs. A lemon, I'm gonna use zest and juice. This Kinder garlic and herb seasoning. So I'm gonna use this in place of salt and herbs that I would normally use. You want a cracker, buddy? Yeah. All right, hold on. And then I have a couple of eggs here, and then I have one little pullet egg because one of our newer ladies that we raised from a chick is starting to lay. So very exciting. Got one of those little pullet eggs. Just throw that in there. Some Greek yogurt. I'm gonna use that up in here. A scallion or spring onion. Some pepper. And some onion powder and garlic powder. So all of that is gonna go in here for my salmon patties. And I'm going to fry them, shallow fry them in the cast iron skillet. This guy wants another cracker. With some coconut oil. So that's how I'm gonna get that. I have a little bit of this stone ground Dijon left in this container. So I decided to go ahead and add that in too. And that'll be delicious. Okay, here's the plan for supper tonight. I'm gonna use this ground beef that I have, and I'm gonna make a beef and lentil
soup. Yes, it is past the date, but I am fine with that. It's just lentils. It's going to be good. Not saying that you should do that, but I'm comfortable with that. So we're going to put that together, and I have some peppers, some carrots, some garlic, an onion, and some spring onions here. In that little bag is some ginger, and then these will be for tomorrow's dinner. So I'm gonna turn all of this into soup, and we'll have that with some homemade bread, and we'll have a delicious, yummy dinner tonight.
So I'm gonna make this in my Instant Pot over here, and I'm gonna use some coconut oil because I have plenty of that, and I think fat is one of the first things I'm gonna run out of in this pantry challenge. So I need to use coconut oil as much as I can, which is good, that's great. So I'm gonna use that to cook the onions and the meat and everything in the Instant Pot with the coconut oil, and then add everything else. And then I was gonna show you that I made with some of that beef liver that I had. I made some bone broth, but I added some of the beef liver into that also. So I've got lots of that right here, and I've got a few more jars of it. So I'm gonna skim the fat off and can most of that, and the rest of it is going to go into our soup tonight. So very nourishing and comforting, delicious soup for supper tonight.
All right, so my other onion was too moldy. We live in a really humid environment here in Florida, and it's kind of hard to keep the humidity out, and it causes onions to mold really fast. But this one is great, looks awesome. So that's one we'll use, and then I will be out of onions for the pantry challenge, which is very sad. And but I do have 2 shallots, and I have a good bit of garlic. So we'll just go with that and use that in everything. So I remembered that I have rosemary and sage still in my garden. So I just went out there and picked some of that real quick. So I'm gonna get this in there. But right now we've got vegetables going, and I'm gonna add in the garlic and these herbs in just a minute. Okay, I've also got some ginger here. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do it or not, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of ginger in, and we'll see how that goes with the soup. And then I can use some of the ginger tomorrow in my curry. So I've moved my vegetables over to the side some, so I could get the meat in here on the bottom and get a good sear on it. It's gonna add more flavor. Okay, I forgot to get a video of the table set with the soup, but this is what was left over. Turned out really good, really nutrient dense. And this is the rest of the full loaf of bread that I made. So only a tiny bit left. Andy can have that for lunch tomorrow. And that was dinner tonight.
This is the next morning, and I have plenty of sourdough starter, so I can make sourdough pancakes a lot during the pantry challenge. So that's what we're gonna have for breakfast this morning. This is my iced honey latte that I have every morning. It's about a tablespoon of honey and 8 ounces of milk. So I'm just showing you my latte routine every morning. This is my one latte that I have each day, and then I usually go with an iced Americano in the afternoon, and that's my coffee routine. But I thought I'd show you how I prep the espresso. I've really enjoyed having an espresso machine at home, and it's keeping me out of coffee shops. So I can link the espresso machine that we have below. It was really easy to learn to use, and it's been really enjoyable for Andy and I to learn this skill of manually tamping our espresso and getting our drink ready every day. So I just add my milk and my espresso to a shaker with plenty of ice, give it a good shake, and that's my iced honey latte that I have every morning. I'm in the refrigerator. So for supper tonight, I have some chicken down here that I need to cook. So I have some chicken thighs, and I'm going to use those to make some Thai coconut curry that I have all the ingredients for. And then I have some leftover little bits of chicken here. And so I'm gonna use that to make 2 chicken pot pies. So I'm gonna take that out because I'm gonna do that all at once. And in the freezer here, I'm gonna use these mixed vegetables for the pot pie. And I'm gonna use these stir-fry vegetables to go in the curry. Okay, this is what I've got for my Thai coconut chicken curry. So I've got chicken thighs, a whole bunch of garlic, this red curry paste, I'm gonna use the whole thing, the coconut milk, I'm gonna use 1 can, a couple of sad green onions, that's all that's left that I had, so I'm gonna throw those in there, a sweet pepper, I'm gonna put that in, these stir-fry veggies, there's already a good bit of veggies in there, but I wanted to add this pepper to use it up, and then some chicken bone broth that I've made, and I'll throw all this together. Of course, some salt and pepper, and that will be, oh, this little knob of ginger, and that will be my Thai coconut curry. To my Dutch oven here that has my chicken and the Thai curry paste, I'm gonna add the spring onion and the bell pepper and the garlic. Just stirring this all together till it's nice and fragrant. And we're gonna add the vegetables that were frozen, and then the coconut milk and chicken broth. All right, got the coconut milk in there and the chicken bone broth. So I'm gonna let this simmer for a little while, and it's gonna become delicious Thai chicken coconut curry. And then in this pan, it's heating up, and I'm gonna make my chicken pot pie filling in there with that leftover chicken. And I had half of an onion left, so I'm gonna cut that up for my chicken pot pie. And I'll probably put some of the frozen garlic in there too. And then that's all I have as far as yellow onions that I usually have. This is all I have left here. A few bulbs of fresh garlic, 2, what are those called? Shallots, 2 shallots. Usually here is where I have sweet potatoes, and usually here is where I have regular potatoes, but I'm all out of those. So this makes me think I need to go to the grocery store, but I'm gonna try not to, or if I do need to, I'm just gonna get a minimal amount. For reference, this is all the butter I have, are these 3 blocks, and then I have just a tiny bit of cream cheese left, and that doesn't usually happen. I usually stay stocked up on it, but I haven't been to Costco in a while, and I'm trying to avoid it for the pantry challenge. So that's all that's left. Gotta make them count. I forgot I also have my little butter dish here, and that has some butter like for going on bread and stuff. So I do have a little bit for that, so that's good. But I'm definitely gonna be running out of that. Okay, that's simmering. Working on my chicken pot pie filling. I've got the onions. I cooked it in some beef tallow. I've got the frozen vegetables, and then I just put in some flour. So I'm gonna cook that into it a little bit. You wanna cook out the flour taste. So I've gotta cook that for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna add my broth and my chicken. And then I usually add some cream cheese and possibly some sour cream, and then I'll add some salt and pepper, and I need to do some garlic powder because I didn't put any garlic in here, so I'm just gonna go with the garlic powder and it'll be fine. So I'm gonna get this finished up while this is simmering, and I need to get some rice started so dinner will be good to go. So I've got my gravy and chicken mixture ready for the pot pies, and then my curry is looking good. I'm just gonna add a little cornstarch slurry to it to help it thicken up just a little. And my rice is back here, it's almost done.
And then I've got a little bit of naan bread in the oven that I'll need to get out, and the kids and Andy will have that, and that will be supper. Plus I'll freeze these chicken pot pies. At the last minute I remembered that I had this little Asian spice mix, so I decided to just throw a little of that into the curry also. This is how my chicken pot pie turned out. Instead of putting it in 2 dishes, I've just put it in 1 deep dish chicken pot pie pan, and that's how it turned out. On this night, we're gonna have some homemade pizza. Since we're not spending any money on pizza right now, I just made some homemade crusts, and I've got those stretched out on some baking sheets, and that works out fine in the oven. I've got my ingredients together. I put some olive oil and some salt and some seasonings onto the crust. Now I'm putting on the marinara sauce. I'm gonna get that all spread out pretty thinly on here so that it doesn't get too soggy, and then add my cheese and toppings. This is summer sausage that I'm using from Christmas time instead of pepperoni, and the other one is cheese. Most of the kids will just eat cheese, but I also added the leftover shallot and some peppers. All right, pizza's in the oven. I cut up the rest of the summer sausage, and I've got leftover shallots and peppers, and I can use all of that to make an omelet in the morning. Just started cutting it, but here's the cheese that just came out, and here's the one with the summer sausage.
This week's video and got a little bit of inspiration for using things up around your house and looking into your pantry, seeing what's there and using up what you have, being creative and wasting just a little bit less. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.